All right, we're recording. CoBra's.
Get off to a rough start.
It happens, man. It's the first episode ever. It happens. Oh, man. All right. What's up? This is my face. I don't know why I'm showing you my face, but my brother convinced me to show my face.
Nothing, bro.
And that is my brother.
I was just showing my face. He was like, "You think you better than me?" So, what's up, y'all? Who's ever watching? If anybody's watching.
If anyone is watching. I don't. Me. I'm a fan of me.
That's all that matters.
Self-confidence, people. Self-confidence. Which I don't have much of. Anyway, it's been, 2 weeks since the last episode of The Last of Us aired, right? It's been about 2 weeks. And we figured everybody's seen it. Or anybody who wanted to watch it. So now we're going to spoil the crap out of it because, it is what it is. I don't care. You don't care. You're watching this because obviously you don't care. So, we just going to say our tidbits, our piece, if we liked it or not, and go from there. So, did you like it?
I thought it was great. I feel like everybody I've talked to is like, "Oh, did you play the video game?"
I said that. I'm the everybody.
I mean, anybody. I would be like, "No, I didn't play it." Then they were like, "You should play it." Then it probably won't be as good. They're like, then why would I? I enjoyed it for what it was.
Mm-hmm. No, he'll be excited about it still, like I was. But if you play the video game is fantastic. So watching the whole TV show with the video game, a lot of episodes you're just like, cool.
So tell me, why were you like that? What episodes and what's the difference between Last of Us TV and Last of Us video game?
Okay, since I'm an expert on this, I'm not. The Last of Us TV show, I guess I start with my gripes. My biggest gripe was, yeah, you dealt with the people, right? You dealt with the raiders and the looters and all of that. But the big concept of the video game was that you're always on the run from everything. It's not just raiders and looters and humans. It's also the infected.
Explain this to me. What are raiders and looters, and why are they different than humans?
Okay,
I didn't pay attention that much.
I mean, they're raiders and looters. They're all human. Raiders are people that actually go in and try and kill you for your stuff. Looters are people who are just, looking. They steal something. They don't really care. They steal it. If they can't get to it, they're just like, all right, you guys are tough. We're not gonna fight. Like we we don't care that much.
It was a dumb question.
Yeah. So if you're talking about like infected, then that's a whole different thing because you got runners, you got the clickers, and I think there's one more thing, but I can't remember exactly the name of them. And you probably got the clickers in the TV show twice. You got one bloater throughout the entire TV series, and you got a couple of runners. And that was like, right, so it's the point of the TV show. You're not gonna show the main reason. Like, to me, at the beginning, they built it up so much. They built up the infection so much in the first 2 episodes for it just to be like, So by the 9th episode, you're like, wait a minute, this show has zombies in it. Like, you forget all of that. That was my biggest gripe.
Well, yeah, there was a dip in it in between that. I actually watched somebody else kind of explain it, where in a few episodes you'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it's okay. It's an okay TV show, or whatever."
Yeah,
and that's kind of the in between. But when I first saw it, spoiler alert, when his daughter died,
that broke you, didn't it?
no, I mean that I felt like that was like a good twist to the story. Like,
he cried.
I was like, whatever. I hate seeing kids get hurt in TVs and movies.
It hurts.
It hurts. I can't stand it. And if you got time, watch that TV show Them. That broke my heart. But
Them?
Yeah, it's on Prime TV.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you should watch it.
No. Wait, Them with the black family?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was good. Ooh. And I can't wait for another season.
It didn't get the credit that
it did not. We'll definitely review that, probably in a week or so.
Like, I felt like that was, I mean, I even like when Grandma got sick in the first episode. And I think the reasoning behind all of this was, they have to tell a story. They can't just it can't be a run and gun TV show off the bat, because they have to captivate a wide audience, not video gamers. Even though it's a video game TV show, but not just the gamers. You gotta get everybody from 18 to 70 to watch this show. So
yeah, no, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
So as a non-gamer, what is your perks about the show? Well, you're a gamer, but as somebody who never touched a video game, what is your, first of all, initial idea of the show as a whole, and what is your like nitpicking, if you have any, or your great moments if you got any?
I think the best parts, the parts I enjoyed the most, I would say, was I liked the first episode. the relationship with his daughter, all that. It felt real. The relationship with his brother felt real, genuine. Good acting, good story.
Oh yeah.
After that, for me, it was like okay, like the scene where they were in. Might have been the hospital, and that was the first time you saw the. I don't even know. Is it a runner?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the only exciting part for like 2 or 3 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and it probably wasn't until like well, they told the story with Nick Offerman. I forget his character's name.
Bill and Frank.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got that was a good episode. Good couple. Was that 2 episodes? No, one.
No, it was just
Just
one.
one very long
It was
episode.
very,
But
very long.
that was a good episode. Um, it had its ups and downs, man. It dipped a lot for me, like keeping me interested. The only thing that kept me interested was seeing if they made it to the facility at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to I think it was Colorado, Wyoming. Again, I'm hazy on the details, but they got to that spot with his brother and his brother's wife and stuff like that. That was like that was kind of like the first episode for me where you know it tugged at your heartstrings because you know how he feels about family, and his brother is starting his brand new life, and he pretty much lost everything up to
Yeah.
this point, but also not realizing the value of this young girl that he has with him until later. Then, of course, spoiler alert, abusing that relationship in a way, and for his own personal gain in a way. So,
Yeah. So, as somebody who's never played the video game, did you hear? Because this is a big thing going around lately with Disney and everything else. Did you hear anybody or see anything on social media griping about the race swap? Because in the game, Joel is white, Tommy is white, the daughter is white. Like Tommy's wife, Tommy's wife is white, but in this, of course, Joel being played by Pedro Pascal, Hispanic. I can't remember exactly where he's from. Of course, Tommy, played by Gabriel, something. He was in the last Terminator movie, but also
okay.
Hispanic. The wife, played by old girl from True Blood. Of course, she is black, and the little girl, she was biracial, clearly. So, did you hear anything or see anything that was like people complaining or anything like that? Because I didn't see nothing, which I thought was cool.
I mean, as somebody who didn't play the video game, I thought it was just normal. Like, even if I feel like if I did play the video game and they switched it up, I'd be like, oh,
care.
okay.
Yeah.
But other thing is like this is just acting, and I not to get off topic too much, but why we always do that? Like at
the race
day,
issue thing.
It's just a movie, and like I don't care. Sorry, everybody who watching, but I don't care. Disney is taking all these white characters and black actors in their place. I really don't care. You're not doing anything for the culture. To be honest, I'm gonna say this straight up. Y'all not doing nothing for the culture. If y'all was doing something for the culture, you would create a black character. You wouldn't find a black actor. Like just giving black people a job. That's
it.
I mean, that's good.
and going here.
I mean,
thank you.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I completely agree with that. I think on one hand it's very stupid to sit here and argue with one of the largest conglomerates in the world who has the most money in the world. No, they're not going to hear anybody's voice, and they're going to continue to do what they want to do. Like people have said since all of this crap has happened, there's a bunch of African folklore that you can pull from that would represent our culture, where we're not turning into freaking blue souls or frogs, or we're not fairies. And we're not mermaids. Like, we have stories. You're just afraid to touch them because, well, quite frankly, you don't care. But then again, if they don't care, why am I caring so much? Why would I hop on here and complain? Disney, you sons of a... Why won't you make black stories and stop hiring black people to play white people? This is dumb. Why? I give myself a heart attack because Disney doesn't get to hear what I got to say. Shoot. But yeah, I honestly didn't care. Pedro Pascal, he's great. I hope he doesn't turn into one of them actors like The Rock, who's just everywhere now. Because he's also in Mandalorian.
And he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, knock on wood, that he's not one of them guys that just, I got to be in everything and do everything. And then it's like, dude, this is bad though. Like, why did you decide to get in San Andreas 2 with The Rock? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't think he'll be like that. I think he's going through like that. I don't know, like when celebrities be hot for a minute and then they like die down for a minute.
Like Florence Pugh.
Yeah, Rock, he never been in anything good. And I think like
except Fast Five.
I think he bro. As the Fast series might be like another whole topic, bro.
Oh man.
Anyways,
I can't wait to discuss that.
He ain't never been in nothing like, I don't know.
He never had to prove himself as an actor. Fast was okay. Gridiron Gang was meh. It was like none of his roles ever required him to actually hunker down and be the game plan. The movie sucked. Like, it was a terrible movie. Like, dude, you don't act. The Mummy Returns, also awful. It was and it was only awful because of your terrible acting in CGI. I mean, exactly. Brendan Fraser is always great, so you can't be upset with that.
He had a lot of, I would guess, not a lot, more than usual laws for Black Adam now.
Yeah, I personally like Black Adam. I know a lot of people hated it. I thought it was, the comic movie that I wanted. It was dark. It was funny. Stuff happened. Like, that's what I want my comic book movie to be. I want my comic book movie to be ridiculousness and also phantasm at the same time. And that's what it was. Didn't look for nothing real in there. Oh, this is terrible acting and it's stupid. I don't care. I don't care. This is ridiculousness, and that's what I want my comics to be.
Now, so with Last of Us, what is all the, I guess, hubbub about with the video gamers who are like, it's been slow, it's been I don't know, not inaccurate. What is all that about?
Well, first of all, I know some people were upset about the inaccuracies of going to, I believe it was Kansas, instead of going to Pittsburgh and Boston. The thing is, I believe the truck scene where they crash into the truck or crash into the guy and then they crash into the store. I believe that's supposed to take place in Pittsburgh, and that was a whole setup to something else. And I know a couple of people had a gripe with that. And then, as far as the show being slow, I mean, yeah, like you said, you got to build story. But the thing with the video game was it built story, but it also had the element of like keeping you on your toes at all times. This didn't really feel like that. Like a lot of things felt really slow, and it's kind of like, okay, I would have loved to see this play out in a TV show, or I would have loved to see Joe break a brick on somebody's head, like the video game. Like there's a lot of scenes from the video game that would have felt fantastic, and like the Sam and Henry episode. That episode was cut so short, although it was a whole bunch that happened. Like they came together the first time. Uh, then they ended up splitting up, and I believe Sam went with Joel, and then Ellie went with Henry. And well, in the video game, Henry wasn't deaf either, but or was it Sam? I can't remember which one is the little kid. Is it Sam?
I don't remember.
Yeah, but the kid wasn't deaf. But they ended up splitting up and having to fight different infected and stuff like that. And then they came together and worked again with each other. And that was a whole thing. Like, as much as I like the Bill and Frank episode, I feel like you could have gotten more done if you just kept it to the video game. Where Bill and Frank did get together. There wasn't a lot of backstory to it. But all there was that was my partner. We got into a fight. He left. Where later you find out, spoiler alert, people, if y'all haven't played the video game or plan on playing the video game, Frank ended up getting infected and he hung himself. And Bill didn't know where he went. Bill just know that he left because they got fed up with each other. So then he left and he hung himself because he got infected and he didn't want to live that out. So plus, all of that was cool too, because that's when you see a lot of infected. Like Joe gets stuck in a trap. You see a bunch of infected coming for him. Ellie got to try and save him. It's one of Bill's traps because Bill set up traps all around his town. Ellie got to come and hurry up and save him. You got infected. You got clickers. You got all these things coming after him, and it's intense. Whereas in the TV show, it's just we get a whole episode of Bill and Frank getting it in until the man died of AIDS, and you're like, as sad as that was, watching the rest of these episodes, you're like, you probably could have held on to that story. and gave me like more actions. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a great story. I enjoyed it so much, but at the same time, you're like, it's kind of a waste. Just like when old girl was chasing Sam and Henry, and you're like, as a person who plays the video game, you kind of, this is kind of dumb. Because that wasn't the case. I mean, in the show, they made it work because they found out he was an informant and all that. But it's kind of like, I liked it better when, like, Fedra played more of a part in the video game as well. You had your you had your humans, your bad humans, stuff like that. But Fedra, the army or whatever you want to call them, they played a lot big or a lot more. I don't know how to say it. They played a bigger role in the video game. Like when Tess passed away, it wasn't like that was the last cool scene that you seen with the infected. When Tess killed herself and blew up the whatchamacallit. It's like, yeah, I do like that change, but you're also taking away how important Fedra is in this storyline.
Yeah.
And then you end up replacing it with old girl, and you're like, that's stupid though. Like all these people going after a deaf kid and his older brother, like that seems horrible. That's like, hey, the boy's deaf. What are we
I didn't like
doing?
that. I didn't like that episode at all. I to be honest, as a as a non-video game player, I thought that episode was kind of unnecessary. I was just kind of like, I mean, if it was going to end like that, like why did it have to happen in the first place?
Yeah.
It seemed like an episode to satisfy the video game players. So I muscled my way through it, but at the same time, I was just like, I don't care for this episode. That was one of those dips I just didn't like.
Yeah.
With Bill and Frank, yeah, that threw me off. I was like, oh,
it made you feel something.
when old dude was in a hole, I was like, he kind of zesty, and he like 10 seconds later, I was like, all right, but I didn't see that coming. I definitely didn't see no. I
when
didn't
they
see no
started
long-term relationship.
when they started hairily making out with each other.
Bruh,
I think the only thing that threw me off with that episode is that they were both so goddamn hairy. It's just like neither one of y'all want to trim. Somebody want to go
like
smooth in this relationship. Shoot, just two grizzled men making sweet love. Shoot. Oh man,
boy, he was like, "I'll take a shower."
Yeah, that was the funniest part. He literally told that nigga to go. I understand this is your home, but you stink, man. Oh man, that was funny.
No, but that was it. I did like that episode though.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I liked it too. But at the same time, once you get to the end, you're kind of like, I would have been much happier if they kept it the same. But you can't win for losing all the time. So did you? Okay, so who out of all of this 9 episodes, who was your favorite character, and what characters like stuck out more to you? And did you have any characters you disliked?
Man, favorite character? That's kind of hard. I honestly, what's the old girl name? I can't.
Ellie?
I said memory says. In all honesty, they really played Ellie up so that she could be a likable person.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of, in the end, she was kind of like the only person you could like. Yeah. Like maybe there was Tommy and Tommy's wife. Still kind of don't like Tommy because he went MIA on his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him a second to really understand his brother's feeling.
Yeah.
Tommy's wife is cool, but at the same time, she kind of seemed like she's got to be in charge. Like she seems a little bit controlling, but
a little bit,
yeah. But I like the character portrayals. Like when I heard about episode 8, like I heard about that from the video game. As everybody talked about episode 8 was probably the best part of the video game when Ellie got caught by the cannibals.
Oh yeah.
And, to escape.
They played that up in that episode. Like I think they added more, like they added a lot more to it to make you feel the gravity of what that dude was really about. So I like that.
Yeah, and I like his character. I like Joel's character. I didn't like the way it ended. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you can't help but like Ellie. They want you to. She's gonna be focal point of this season, next season. So
Yeah,
but
I guess.
yeah, I can't really say I had a favorite though.
Yeah, my opinion is gonna be very unpopular. Wasn't a fan of this portrayal of Ellie. Let me just start off with my negative. Was not a fan.
Okay, why not?
First of all, anybody that's talked to me about the video game, knowing about how long this show been in development. I don't know if you remember that TV show. I think it's Man in the House or something like that with Tim Allen. It's
Yeah.
a sitcom on Fox. Yeah, the youngest daughter. I always wanted her to play Ellie because they look exactly alike. They also sound exactly alike. It's actually very scary because the woman that played Ellie, Ashley Johnson, she's in the video game in episode 9, I believe. She's the one giving birth to Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Joe or Troy Baker, he's in episode 8 as James, the guy that was walking around with David, like his right hand man that really wanted to kill Ellie. That's the original Joel from the video game.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was cool to see when I seen both of them. I'm like, oh yes, let's go. But this portrayal of Ellie, if you, in the video game, I know you ain't never gonna play it, but in the video game, Ellie is she's like a happy medium of both. She's soft when she has to be, but like extremely hard and coarse when she needs to be. So she is like it's almost like she got this elegance to her. Whereas in the TV show, it was always like she was supposed to be Trisha's replacement. Like because Trisha in the video game was hardcore. I mean, she was walking around shooting people in the face with like out remorse. I mean, it was necessary, but she gladly did it. And it felt like that's what they tried to make Ellie in the TV show. Like I just couldn't get over just how like yeah, they had their funny moments, but there's something about her character in particular to where they just tried to push this super strong, super like I'm so ready to murder feeling.
Yeah.
Like when Trish died and blew up in a video game, Joel is the one to, you know, say, okay, let's go. Whereas in the TV show, she like took control and you're like, that's first of all, she's a child. Second of all, I don't care how long you've been a part of this. As a child, you're still, you know, nervous and scared and trying to figure out what's going on or how to navigate throughout this world and life. And it didn't feel like Ellie. And I know, again, it's a TV show. I get it. You got to change stuff up. But that was the most endearing part of the video game. Like, you wanted to protect Ellie as much as Joe did in the video game. Whereas in this, it's like, man, whatever. That girl acting like she can protect herself. I'm a jet. Like, you got this. Go ahead. So, I like Joe in this. I like Trish in this as well. I'll be honest with you. By roughly episode 7, everybody bored me. And again, I know this is unpopular opinion. I like the show. I like what they did. But even in episode 9, where he goes to the hospital, spoiler, it murders everyone. I was sitting there because I played the video game, and it just didn't feel like it had or it held the same weight. Now, granted, they shot it fantastically. I mean, the same symmetry between the game and the TV show was amazing. I really wish they would have kept it all the same, where the dude shanked the doctor. But, you know, I understand where they're like, okay, that's too much. But yeah, I was just like, all right, cool. So I mean, I like the show. Uh, hopefully, season 2 they somewhat focus on the infected. I know for the video game there is no middle ground story between chapter 1 or part 1 and part 2. So a lot of
Yeah.
people are speculating that they're probably going to do the because the way that they did this, they did it so fast that you can only have pretty much 2 seasons out of this. And I kind of wish they would have slowed down and just did somewhat more from the video game. I feel like the video game had so much to offer, and they just kind of wanted to do their steps and then call it a day. So
Yeah.
uh, that's
Yeah.
my opinion.
It'll be interesting to see, especially with season 2 for me. Um, but in all honesty, if it ended at season 2, I'd be okay with it because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a big fan of shows that don't go on longer than they have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Breaking Bad was like
Breaking
probably
Bad
one of my
was
favorite
peak.
TV
Yes.
shows.
Oh
It
yeah.
was when directors and producers know when this should stop,
Yeah.
And if it's good, then I'm okay with it ending like that. Um, but I don't know. Overall, I thought like it was a good show, uh, but not great. It was like it was a good story, in the fact that it was pretty much zombie virus. And how many times can you tell that story? How many different ways can you tell that story?
Yeah.
Um, so to me, it was done probably as best as it could have been, um, and as close as it could have been, in my opinion, to a video game while also keeping everyone interested.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. Like first couple episodes were probably like a solid 8. Middle episodes were probably down in like a 5, 6. But it picked back up in the end. Ended with like I would say an 8, 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely give the show a thumbs up. Like, it's a video game TV show, so for them to be able to
Mm,
pull this off like this, I think that's pretty great in and of itself.
yeah.
I mean, shoot, I really can't complain. I mean, I can, but a lot of the,
You have
I,
been.
I mean, I gave my likes. Very few and far between, but I gave my likes. Yeah, but I mean, I definitely watch season 2. Yeah, and for the most part, I enjoyed it. I just wish they had more effective scenes, or you know, I just wish they had more action scenes in general because it is an
I
action
agree.
oriented game. I don't think it had to be this slow. Even with story, you can build story around action. I mean, anybody who's watched the John Wick franchise knows that you can build story around action.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I liked it. I'm excited to see what they do in season 2, and I definitely recommend it to other people.
Yeah. So I can definitely agree with all of that. We use more action, especially.
Yeah, if they ain't got none of that in the second season, I'm probably out after the first episode. Like, shoot, this is just as slow. Good grief. But I think that is it for us on this particular podcast episode. It's the first one. We did it. We got through it. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. We got through it. And yeah, there's more to come. There will be more to come. And I can't wait. A lot of drinking involved and a lot of shows need to be watched. So I've been your boy CoBra. CoBra? I'm sorry. Let's do that again, everyone. I've been your boy CoBra. And this is my little brother G. And to everybody out there, we out.